Have you ever found yourself pausing, perhaps while looking in the mirror, and wondering about the years ahead? It's a natural thing, isn't it? Especially as we journey further into our seventh decade and beyond. We start to reflect, to appreciate the time we've had, and perhaps to wonder how much more we'll be blessed with. It's not about morbid curiosity, but rather a gentle human desire to understand our own paths, to make the most of the time we have. And let me tell you, there's a lot of fascinating science that can shed light on this very topic. We're not talking about fortune-telling or crystal balls, but real, tangible signs that researchers have discovered, indicators that can give us a glimpse into our longevity. In this video, we're going to explore some of these scientifically proven signs that can help us understand our potential lifespan after 70. It's not about predicting an exact date, of course, but about recognizing patterns and understanding what our bodies and habits might be telling us. This knowledge isn't meant to cause worry, but rather to empower us to make positive changes, to live healthier, more fulfilling lives. We'll talk about things you can observe in your daily life and simple steps you can take to foster a longer, healthier existence. It's about understanding and then taking action. Let's start with the first sign, which is something many of us might overlook: grip strength. Now, you might be thinking, grip strength? What does that have to do with anything? Well, studies have shown that grip strength is a powerful indicator of overall muscle health and vitality. It's not just about opening jars or shaking hands firmly. Strong grip strength is linked to a lower risk of heart disease, stroke, and even premature death. Think of it this way: our muscles aren't just for lifting things. They're vital for our metabolism, our balance, and our overall resilience. As we age, we naturally lose muscle mass, and grip strength can be a simple, effective way to gauge this loss. So, how do you know if your grip strength is a good indicator? You don't need any fancy equipment. A simple hand dynamometer, which you can find online or at some pharmacies, can give you a precise measurement. But even without that, you can get a general sense. Try opening a jar that used to be easy, or perhaps notice how you feel when carrying grocery bags. If you're finding everyday tasks more challenging, it might be a sign to pay attention. And what can you do about it? Simple exercises like squeezing a stress ball, using hand grippers, or even just regularly lifting light weights can make a significant difference. It's about maintaining that muscle mass, keeping those connections strong. Remember, it's never too late to start. Even small, consistent efforts can yield noticeable results. Now, let's move on to the second sign, which is just as important: walking speed. Think about how you walk. Do you stroll leisurely or do you maintain a brisk pace? Research has shown that walking speed is a strong predictor of longevity, especially after 70. A faster walking speed is often associated with better cardiovascular health, stronger muscles, and a more robust nervous system. It's not about racing, but about maintaining a steady, energetic pace. A study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that older adults with a faster walking speed tended to live longer than those with a slower pace. It makes sense when you think about it. Walking involves so many aspects of our health: balance, coordination, muscle strength, and cardiovascular fitness. When these systems are working well, it's a sign of overall vitality. So, how can you gauge your walking speed? Try timing yourself on a short walk, perhaps 100 meters, or simply pay attention to how you feel when you're walking. Are you easily winded, or do you feel energetic? If you find yourself slowing down, don't despair. There are things you can do. Start by incorporating regular walks into your routine. Even a short 15-minute walk each day can make a difference. Try to maintain a brisk pace, as if you're trying to catch a bus. And remember, it's not just about the speed, it's about the effort. Engage your muscles, breathe deeply, and enjoy the feeling of movement. You can also try incorporating interval training into your walks. alternating between periods of faster walking and slower walking. This can help improve your cardiovascular fitness and boost your overall endurance. It's about finding joy in movement, appreciating what our bodies can do, and nurturing that vitality. Now that we've covered grip strength and walking speed, two very practical and observable signs, let's move on to the next part, where we'll delve into the fascinating world of social connections and their impact on longevity. Now that we've considered the physical aspects of grip strength and walking speed, let's shift our attention to something equally vital, perhaps even more so: social connections. You know, it's often said that we're social creatures, and that's never truer than as we age. Loneliness and social isolation can have a profound impact on our health and longevity. Studies have shown that strong social connections are linked to a reduced risk of depression, cognitive decline, and even heart disease. Think about it. When we're surrounded by people we care about, when we feel connected and supported, we're simply happier and healthier. It's not just about having a lot of acquaintances, it's about having meaningful relationships. Those deep connections with family, friends, or even community groups provide a sense of purpose and belonging. They give us something to look forward to, someone to share our joys and sorrows with. And that, in turn, strengthens our resilience and helps us cope with the challenges of aging. A study published in the journal Social Science and Medicine found that older adults with strong social networks had a significantly lower risk of mortality. It's like having a safety net, a support system that helps us navigate life's ups and downs. So, how do you know if your social connections are strong enough? Ask yourself, do you have people you can rely on? Do you feel connected to your community? Do you have regular interactions with friends and family? If the answer is no, or if you feel isolated, it's never too late to make changes. Start by reaching out to old friends, joining a club or group, or volunteering in your community. Even small steps, like having a regular phone call with a loved one, can make a big difference. And remember, it's not just about receiving support, it's about giving it too. Helping others can bring us immense joy and a sense of purpose, which in turn strengthens our own well-being. It's that beautiful give and take of human connection. Now, let's move on to another fascinating sign: cognitive function. As we age, we might notice some changes in our memory and thinking skills. But maintaining good cognitive function is crucial for a long and healthy life. Studies have shown that people who stay mentally sharp are more likely to live longer and enjoy a higher quality of life. It's about keeping our brains active and engaged, just like we keep our bodies active. Think of your brain as a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. Engaging in mentally stimulating activities can help maintain cognitive function and even reduce the risk of dementia. Things like reading, puzzles, learning new skills, or even just having stimulating conversations can make a big difference. A study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that engaging in mentally stimulating activities was associated with a lower risk of cognitive decline. It's about challenging our brains, keeping them flexible and adaptable. So, how do you know if your cognitive function is in good shape? Pay attention to how easily you remember things, how quickly you can solve problems, and how well you can focus. If you notice significant changes, don't panic. There are things you can do. Start by incorporating mentally stimulating activities into your daily routine. Try learning a new language, playing a musical instrument, or even just doing crossword puzzles. And remember, it's not just about doing these activities, it's about enjoying them. Find things that you find engaging and rewarding. It's also important to maintain a healthy lifestyle, including regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep, all of which can support cognitive function. Now that we've explored the importance of social connections and cognitive function, let's move on to the next part, where we'll talk about the crucial role of sleep and emotional well-being in predicting longevity. We've talked about grip strength, walking speed, social connections, and cognitive function. Now, let's delve into another critical aspect of longevity: sleep. It's easy to underestimate the power of a good night's sleep, but quality sleep is essential for our physical and mental health, especially as we age. Studies have shown that people who get adequate sleep tend to live longer and have a higher quality of life. It's during sleep that our bodies repair themselves, our brains consolidate memories, and our immune systems strengthen. Think about it. When you sleep well, you feel more energized, more focused, and more resilient. And that translates to better overall health. Conversely, chronic sleep deprivation can lead to a host of problems, including increased risk of heart disease, diabetes, and depression. A study published in the journal Sleep Medicine Reviews found that both short and long sleep durations were associated with increased mortality risk. It's about finding that sweet spot, that balance that allows our bodies to rejuvenate. So, how do you know if you're getting enough quality sleep? Pay attention to how you feel during the day. Do you feel rested and alert, or do you struggle to stay awake? Do you wake up feeling refreshed, or do you feel groggy and tired? If you're struggling with sleep, there are things you can do. Start by establishing a regular sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same time each day, even on weekends. Create a relaxing bedtime routine, such as taking a warm bath, reading a book, or listening to calming music. Make sure your bedroom is dark, quiet, and cool. And avoid caffeine and alcohol before bed. If you continue to have trouble sleeping, don't hesitate to talk to your doctor. It's about prioritizing your rest, giving your body the time it needs to heal and recharge. Finally, let's talk about emotional well-being. Life is full of ups and downs, and how we handle those challenges can have a significant impact on our health and longevity. Studies have shown that people who maintain a positive outlook, who practice gratitude, and who manage stress effectively tend to live longer and healthier lives. It's about cultivating a sense of inner peace and resilience. Think about it. When we're stressed, our bodies release hormones that can have negative effects on our health. When we're happy and content, our bodies release hormones that promote healing and well-being. A study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences found that positive emotions were associated with a lower risk of mortality. It's about finding joy in the simple things, appreciating the present moment, and cultivating a sense of gratitude. So, how do you know if your emotional well-being is in good shape? Pay attention to your mood, your stress levels, and your overall sense of happiness. Do you feel content and fulfilled, or do you feel anxious and overwhelmed? If you're struggling with your emotional well-being, there are things you can do. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Engage in activities that bring you joy, and seek support from loved ones or professionals. Remember, it's not about avoiding negative emotions altogether, but about developing healthy coping mechanisms and cultivating a positive mindset. It's about finding that inner balance, that sense of peace that allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed. We've explored the importance of grip strength, walking speed, social connections, cognitive function, sleep, and emotional well-being. These are all scientifically proven signs that can help us understand our potential lifespan after 70. But remember, these are just indicators, not guarantees. They're meant to empower us, not to define us. Remember, small changes can make a big difference in your health and happiness. It's never too late to start making positive choices, to cultivate healthy habits, and to nurture meaningful connections. Your journey is unique, and you have the power to shape it. I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. What are some of the things you do to maintain your health and well-being? What are some of the challenges you've faced, and how have you overcome them? Your stories can inspire and empower others. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more helpful content. We're here to support you on your journey to a long and fulfilling life. Here's to living your best life at any age. Thank you for being here.